Did you know that there is an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that is famous for its statues? No one knows why they were created, but I am here to tell you some explanations. Easter Island was discovered on Easter Sunday, giving it its iconic name. The person who discovered the island, Jacob Roggevin, was the first European to make it to Easter Island ever recorded. The island was called Nui by the island's inhabitants, which meant Great Rapa. Easter Island is the most lonely island in the world because of its unmatched isolation. Its nearest neighbor is 1,100 miles away. Easter Island is famous for its moai or statues, which resemble big heads. On Easter Island, there are about 900 statues. The statues may represent dead chiefs of the island. There is one large statue called Pero that weighs 90 tons. That's as much as 90 dump trucks. One statue on Easter Island looks way different than the other statues called Turkaturi. With instead of having a rectangular head like most of the statues, it has a round head like a real person. The statues on the island are made of volcanic ash found on one of the three volcanoes on the island. In 2012, they dug a hole and discovered that the statues have bodies covered in carvings that resemble tattoos. The statues used to have eyes made out of coconuts, but they rotted away too well. Rot. Some of the statues are about 500 to 900 years old, which means some of them were built before the first president, George Washington, became president. Though the statues are strange, the island itself is still full of mystery. Easter Island is known for having many mysteries and oddities, which makes the island itself. There is a cave on the island called the Cave of Men Eaters. There, there is a bunch of birds painted on the walls. Easter Island is in the middle of nowhere, so it's considered an islet, which is just a small island. Easter Island has horses on the island as no, one of its uncommon living things that live on the island, though it is not native, brought by the Europeans in unknown time. Someone on Easter Island tried to steal an ear off a moai, but was later caught in the act because they were spotted by somebody else on the island. Sadly, the island went through tragic deforestation, wiping out most of the trees and vegetation. The island used to be very lush with lots of trees and other now vegetation, but now it is treeless and ugly. The island has a lot of things that happened throughout its history. The island's original inhabitants moved there in 1250 AD, which was before modern time even began. Easter Island is the origin spot for sweet potatoes. The civilization on the island collapsed quickly because of unknown reasons. Some theories may suggest it may be because of rats or civil war, maybe even deforestation and common forest fires. No matter what it was, the island is still one of the world's biggest mysteries. Easter Island is often referred to as a model of the Earth to come if we don't take care of our resources. The reason for this is because a common theory that is the people used all the resources for building and moving the statues. Using the trees for making conveyor belt like structures to move the statues, using their sweet potatoes, their main source of food, to wax the logs to make it easier to move the statues to their respective spots. Now the islanders don't have food or trees, so to survive, they resolved to, well, cannibalism. So now the islanders are killing and eating each other, the population rapidly declining. to where there was no one left. This theory can be used as an example to humanity because if we don't take care of our resources, we could end up like the inhabitants of Easter Island. So we should take care of the planet's natural resources so we don't resort to eating everyone we know. Why were the statues created? One possible reason is that creating a statue was a boy's passage into manhood. Another another theory is that people created these heads to honor their ancestors. The statues resemble honoring the dead chiefs and carrying on their legacy to make sure they were never forgotten. The statues may have also been created to warn off enemies or enemy spirits. Any other reasons would be unknown and who knows, they could be part of something way bigger. My theory is that the statues are part of a big temple that is underground, and the statues are part of this temple guarding whatever is inside. This also connects to the many statues being very big so they can intimidate any trespassers that try to break in. This this can also explain the lack of trees. They could be keeping all the trees and wood in there. There are more theories about Easter Island. Why do you think the Moai were created? If you were on Easter Island all those years ago, you would have had a not so happy Easter.